Hi friends, this is one of the many adventure stories that we'll soon come up with. Learning to dive was a fun-filled struggle. Long hours of learning to swim and float in water. The two basic skills you need to master before you can enroll for diving certification course. The 10 dive sessions which eventually certified me to dive 30 meters depth in open water were fulfilling, exhausting and wow-some. That's the story for another time. This is about my first dive as an independent certified diver. The 10 dives during the dive course had been under a watchful gaze of my dive instructor, always shadowing his move underwater. Also, being a popular dive spot, you were never actually alone. The diving story that we are talking about right now was after a gap of 10 months after completing our certification course. Those 10 months spent busily amid hustle and bustle of normal routine life and corporate slavery, where there was never a moment spared recollecting our dive sessions. Even the dive spots were separated by a huge landmass of the Indian subcontinent, and the difference couldn't have been more stark. While the first dive site was filled with like-minded adventurers from all over the world, eager to explore the depths of the seas, this site was teeming with devotees who had come to bask the aura of the divine. While the staff and the instructor in my certification days were chilled up young people like us, always caring and pampering us, here we were to dive under the strict supervision of a very senior and experienced diver. A tad bit old school, if I may say, with his very strict approach. It was more like, in my boat, my diving orders are final. We realized it much later after the dive that he was a thorough gentleman and a very nice person. The rough and choppy sea conditions were also unlike the calm and crystal clear waters that we were used to while learning to dive. On that particular day, we had to rush and run amidst a sea of devotees to reach the beach. After the form filling and a quick getting to know each other, we were in a small boat accompanied by our driving instructor and a sailor. We hurriedly exchanged and memorized hand signals, which were to be our only mode of communication underwater. We got hooked to our scuba gear and we were ready to dive. The next half an hour was spent between scanning for a suitable place to dive and a refresher lesson of do's and don'ts. When the moment arrived, I, being the risk taker, took the first plunge, followed by an ever watchful husband. Into the waters, we hurriedly scrambled for each other as the drifts were busy taking us here and there, regrouped and signaled the boat. We also signaled each other, indicating that we were fine, and took the plunge into the depths of the unknown. As we reached the sea bottom, the initial awkwardness gave way to a more relaxed and comfortable diving experience. We glided around, trying to catch the glimpses of the underwater life. The visibility was very low, the water was murky, and the glimpses of underwater are still rare. Even after that, the euphoric feeling of thrill and adventure was making me giddy with calm, zen-like happiness. As we neared 50% air in the cylinder, we decided to call it a day and go up. When we reached our boat, it had been almost 40 minutes of diving. We patted each other, took some photographs, and were ready to hit the shore, eager to refuel ourselves with a well-earned meal. But our boat had other plans. It was basically a small inflated vessel with a motorized propeller that wouldn't budge. After several hurried attempts, our boatman concluded that the anchor had gotten stuck in the corals. Somebody had to go down again and untangle the anchor. Since we were already geared up, we were happy to help him. Thrilled once again. This time we had a purpose too. But the air in our cylinders was 50%, so we had to be quick. We went down and the anchor was indeed stuck up in a dead coral, which had hardened to form a rock-like structure. Carefully extracting the sharp-edged anchor, we surfaced up signaling to move the boat, but it still wouldn't budge. We dived once again, only to find out that the anchor had got unhooked from one rock and tangled into another. We carefully dislodged it, and this time I decided to bring it all the way up with us. Finally, the boat moved, and the old experienced instructor, who was initially hesitant, was really happy with our training and gladly appreciated the effort. We finally managed to win his respect. By the way, me and my husband both are certified scuba divers. Our training was completed in Havelock, Andamans, and the particular diving site which we are talking about happened to be in the seas around Dwarka. For more such stories, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.